What's going on, my friends? I'm Rolando, the board dad, and today we're going to do something a little bit different. I don't know, I almost feel like something's missing. You know how Redford always makes fun of me for playing solo games? Maybe I can play with him. Well, no, it's
Yeah.
it's a solo game.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh. It's okay.
Done?
No.
So I recently picked up this really fun surfing themed game called Tavarua. It's 1 to 6 players. It's published by Far Off Games. I'd never heard of this game before. It was recommended to me, and so I picked it up. I've been playing it pretty much every day since I got it, and I thought, you know what? While we have some peace and quiet with someone not around, why not do a solo playthrough of it? That way you can see how the game works. You can see how bad I am at it, but how fun it is, and maybe it's something you'd like to pick up. So let's do the playthrough. All right, so here is the game all set up, ready to go. I am going to ask if you can turn on your Klingon subtitles. That way, if I make it, well, not if, when I make a mistake, I can note it down and you can read all about it and hopefully not make the same one when you play. So the goal of this game essentially is to take your surfer here who starts on the shore, take him out to the channel as far as you'd like, and then catch a wave and ride the wave all the way back to shore where you'll be able to score a whole bunch of points, which will be tracked on this board here. And depending on your score, you're going to get a certain number, I should say depending on the points, you're going to get a score. And you're going to score twice for each board. You have 2 boards. You have a long board and a short board, and I'll explain the difference as we play. But you'll be able to score twice, and here are the scoring markers, twice for the long board, twice for the short board, twice for the long board, and you'll track it here on this board here. And in the solo game, at the end, you're going to add all 4 scores, and a perfect score is 40. That's why you have the 10 here. So if you're able to score all 10s 4 times, you're amazing. Okay, so you're going to add up all 4 scores, and out of 40, that's going to be your how you did in the solo game. So I'm just going to explain very briefly to get going a few things, and then I'll explain the rest as we go. So in order to catch one of these waves and ride it out, the wave has to be broken. And so initially what you're going to do, and we're going to do it right now, we're going to roll these dice one at a time and then put them on a wave. And a wave is considered broken when the die value is larger than the printed value on the board. So when that happens, that wave is considered to be broken. And if you're in that part of the channel, you can jump on it and then start riding it back. And we'll see how that works. So that's the first thing to remember or to keep in mind during this playthrough. I'll be able to get on a wave if this number is larger than that number. If it's exactly the same, so if this was, for example, a 5, if this number matches that number, it's considered a perfect wave. And you'll get one of these little bonus tokens. There's a few bonus tokens that we'll talk about that'll let you score even more points. But again, we'll get to that. This here's the deck we're going to be drawing cards from. These are cards we can purchase in order to trigger some special abilities. These are the wave cards. We'll be drawing one of these at the end of every turn. And these serve as a timer for the game. So when this deck runs out, the game is over, no matter where you are here on the actual board. Now this is your surfboard. Again, we're going to start with the longboard. So the longboard has a lot of spaces here on it. This represents your surfer on the board. So during the game, we're going to be moving this marker, which represents your balance on the board. And the short board has a lot less spaces, and we'll see how that plays out. So we're going to start with the longboard. We're going to start right in the middle, and then we take the little longboard here that we have a little surfer on, and we just put him lying down. This is the other board. This is the short board. And we start with one of these stoke tokens. These stoke tokens are really important because they let you modify the values on the cards, and we'll see how that works. So you start with one. And so there's stoke tokens. There are these barrel tokens. These are hang 10 tokens, and these are perfect wave tokens. And we'll see how all this plays out. All right, so let's get started. First thing we're going to do is we're going to draw 5 cards from the deck, and you're always going to have 5 cards in your hand. Whenever you play one, you always draw one immediately. And these cards are going to have numbers on the top left corner, and they're also going to have a surfboard with a directional arrow on them, either pointing forward or pointing backwards. And this represents your surfer on your longboard here. The surfer's balance. So these numbers will indicate how many spaces you're going to move either forwards or backwards on this board at certain times during the game. If your surfer ever moves off the board, well, that's not good. You wipe out and you're going to lose a lot of points when you do that. So we're going to try not to do that. So in this case, looking at my cards here, what I probably want to do is paddle out so I can catch a wave. And looking at the waves the way they are here right now, I see that this one is a 4, and on my next turn it's going to cycle down. So if I'm able to catch it here, it'll be a perfect wave, which means I'll get one of these little bonus tokens and I'll be able to score more points. The problem is I only have cards that will let me go as far as 3 spaces from the shore. But I do have this stoke token that'll let me add 1 to that, which would get me there. The question is, do I want to use it now? And I probably will. So I'm just going to take this 3 and place it on this side of my board, because on this side it says paddle out. So whenever we paddle out, we're going to put it right there. And I'm going to use this stoke token in order to add 1 to my 3, which brings me 4 spaces out from shore. And now I'm in position to catch that wave when it comes down. Again, I'm going to draw a card in order to bring me up to 5. And now what I do is I draw one of these wave cards. And again, it's not going to matter right now what's on here because I'm not on a wave. I'll explain what this does once I catch a wave. And the last thing I do on my turn is I discard this card because I won't need it anymore, and the token. And then we are going to shift these waves down and re-roll this die. That's a 6. That's great because it's way up there, but I'm already in position to catch this wave. So we go on to my next turn, and now I'm going to catch this wave because it's perfect. It's a 4 and a 4. In order to catch a wave, what you're going to do is you're going to play one of the cards from your hand. And now not only is the number important, but also the direction of the arrow on your card. Because once you catch it, you're going to move your marker here on your board that many spaces in that direction. So for example, if I decide to catch the wave with this 2, I would put it here on this side because it says catch there. I would move my balance marker up 2, and then I'd take my little surfer guy here, stand him up on the board, and place him on the wave. So he's caught the wave. When I catch the wave, I automatically get a stoke token every single time. Now I did play a card, so I draw 1. Now I do have to draw a wave card, and this becomes important because now, other than moving your surfer on your board when you catch the wave, you're also going to move it whatever value is on the other side of this card. Now the back side tells you what might be on the other side. So this card will either have a 0 or a 1, either pointing forwards or backwards. So right here I feel pretty safe because if it pushes me 1 forward, then I would end up on the edge of the board. If it pushes me 1 backward, I would still be on the board. Sorry, I think you may have heard my dog, or as Redford calls him, my rat. So let's see what's on the other side of this. This is where the push your luck mechanism comes in. This is a push your luck game. So let's see. Here we go. It doesn't do anything. It's a 0, so I stay right where I am. I was kind of hoping it would push me up 1, because if at any point, or not at any point, if at the end of your turn you end up either on the top edge or the bottom edge of your board, you get one of these hang 10 tokens, and it gives you a 2-point bonus for every one of these tokens. So anyway, that didn't happen on this turn, but now what I will do is, since I'm on the wave, this card does not get discarded. It gets put over here on this side, because if you notice, it also says score. So as we ride the wave down, we're going to keep adding to this pile. And if we're able to successfully ride the wave to shore, we're going to add up all the points on the cards we have put down, including any tokens that go on it. All right. So now the last thing we do is we move the wave down. So again, we're going to move this down. We're going to roll the die. That is a 4. Okay, so now I have to decide. Do I want to keep riding the wave? Or do I want to bail out? If I bail out, it would be because my cards are just terrible and I think I'm going to fall off the board. And rather than wiping out and losing a whole bunch of points, I'd rather bail out and keep the points I have. But I'm not at that point yet. So let's see what we want to do. Our cards are actually pretty good. Now we see that the wave coming up is either going to push us 2 up or forward or backward. If it pushes us forward, we're in trouble. So I want to play a card that will move me ideally here, because then if it pushes me 2 up, I'll be at the edge of the board and I can score some bonus points. And I actually do have a card that lets me do that. So here's a 1, and this action will be the ride action. So I want to keep riding this wave, and it's going to push me back 1 on my board. So there we go. Okay. I played a card, so I draw a card. A 4. When you're on the long board, if you notice down here, it has a little symbol here that tells you that you cannot have 4 valued cards on a long board. So I have to discard this and just grab another one. There we go. If you're on the short board, you can have value 4 cards, and we'll see why that's important in a little bit. Okay, so I played my card. It moved me down once. Now let's reveal the wave card. All right, this is always kind of an exciting moment. Let's see what happens here. Okay, it's a choppy wave. So it's going to push me down twice on my board. Not what I was looking for, but I'm still on it, so that's good. All right, so then I go ahead and take this card and I put it in my score pile. There we go. And now we move the wave. Hopefully this is making some sense. And if you've played this game before and you notice I'm making any sort of mistake, please put it down in the comments and I will make a note to correct it. Okay, so now we're almost to shore. So I got to decide. If I bail out now, it would score 3 points. Not a whole lot. So let's see if we can continue riding this wave. If you hear any banging sounds in the background, I do apologize. They are working outside here, and I'm trying to do this playthrough around it, but I couldn't wait all day, so I just decided to go ahead. All right, so I am going to keep riding the wave. If we notice here, the wave coming up is going to move me on my board 0 or 1 spaces forwards or backwards. So I think what I want to do is I want to play this 2. It's going to move me down 2, but I have this stoke token that I want to play. When you play stoke tokens as you're riding a wave, it has 2 advantages. One is it lets you plus or minus the value on the card, but it also gives you a point, an extra point, when you are able to get to shore and you count all your cards. So it's good to have a bunch of stoke tokens around. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this to reduce this to a 1 so that I can be here. And now when I reveal the wave, again, I want to try and be on the edge so I can get one of these hang 10 tokens. I do draw a card because I played one. So let's see what the wave does. Ah, there we go. Awesome. So I do move down 1. That's the end of my turn. I'm at the edge of the board. I get a hang 10 token, and I put it on the card. Then I move the card over to the score side, and that was a great turn. Okay, so now I move the wave once more, roll the die, 2. Okay, so I'm going to ride this thing out because I have one more left before I get to shore. My hand is pretty good. We see here that the next wave coming is going to move me 2 to 3 forward or up on the board. So I think if I play this 3 and then go forward 1, 2, 3, I'm right in the middle. And even if this pushes me all the way up 3 times, I'm still going to be on the edge, which is good. I'm going to draw one more card. All right, let's see what this does. Ah, only twice. So this goes to the scoring pile. And yeah, that's it. All right, so now we move the wave again. Now this makes me reach shore. That's a 5. Because I reach shore, when I score, I get a bonus 2 points. So now let's do the scoring before we take our next turn. So when you score, you're going to score the amount printed on the cards, plus any tokens, and plus the bonus 2 if you've made it to shore. So in this case, I'm going to score 3, 5, 6, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13 points. So 13 points. If I look here on my scoring board, hopefully you can make out this scoring board. But on the bottom of each square is the amount of points that you've gained on the card. So in this case, 13 points brings us here to this square, which is a 6.0. So we take the longboard token here, which is this one, and we put it on the 13-point square, so that's a 6.0. So that's what I've scored on this run on my longboard. What we do next is we get rid of the, oh, and I do get a stoke token for reaching shore. So I'm actually going to just keep this one instead of discarding it. All right, so I discard these cards. And the stoke tokens can also be used when you're on shore to buy some of these cards that give you special abilities. 1 token per card. You don't get to see what they are. You just draw it blindly, and that's what you get. And then you can play those at any time during your turn. So stoke tokens can be used to modify the value on the cards or to buy some stoke cards. All right. Okay, so now we have to decide, do we want to stay on the longboard or do we flip over to the shortboard and try to get a shortboard score? Keep in mind that even though you are able to score 4 times, that doesn't necessarily mean you will score 4 times each game because it all depends on the wave cards. Because you're drawing one at the end of each turn, even when you're not on a wave, it really comes down to timing when you want to go out and catch these waves. Because another thing you can do on your turn is also wait for a wave. But as you're waiting, these cards are, being drawn, and that's going to push the game end to come sooner. So in the end, you may not score 4 times. That's true for the multiplayer game as well. Okay, so just for the purposes of this playthrough, I don't know if I want to switch to the shortboard yet because my cards are pretty high here, you see? And the shortboard, I mean, you got to really balance yourself here because there's only, you can only go twice in any direction before you actually wipe out. So that being the case, I'm going to stay on my longboard for the moment, okay? So stick around to see the shortboard. Hopefully next turn. Okay, so looking at what's out here, the only wave that I can catch, oh, actually, if I go here, I would catch a perfect wave next turn. But I'm only going to ride a short distance down. So maybe, and if I paddle, I got to put my surfer down like this. If I paddle all the way out here, I can't because I only have one stoke token. So the furthest I can go out is a 4. Would have been nice to catch that 5 as it becomes a perfect wave. So, okay, I know what I'm going to do. So I'm going to paddle out 3. I'm going to paddle out 3. I'm going to use a stoke token to make it a 4. So once again, I'm going to go here. Now, I cannot catch that wave on my next turn because when this comes down, it's going to be a 2, so which means the wave hasn't broken. If you remember, this one's not going to break until it gets all the way down here. So my plan is to just wait here. Unless another 5 comes out and I can catch this perfect wave. But my plan is to wait here until this 5 comes down here. And when you wait, you can actually discard some cards. So I want to get rid of some of these higher value cards. Okay, so I paddled out 3. And now I'm going to reveal a wave card. And it is a 1. It doesn't matter because I'm not on a wave, so it doesn't move me at all. Okay, so I'm going to discard this and discard that. And now we're going to move this. Come on. Ah, it's a 5. So now I have a big decision to make because I can either wait for this 5 to come down here. And when you wait, you just pick any number of cards you want to discard. And just, you put them here down where it says wait. And that's pretty much it. Then you redraw up to 5. However, the fact that this ended up being a 5 is going to change my strategy. Because now what I want to do is I want to use this 1 to paddle up once more. And I'll be in a position here to catch this 5 when it moves down. So I'm going to draw a card. I like that I'm getting low valued cards because, well, it's going to be a while before I hit shore, but hopefully I have low valued cards when I hit shore so I could switch. Okay, so now we're going to draw this wave card. And this is an interesting one. It doesn't matter right now because I'm not on a wave, but this is a barrel card. You know when you're surfing, I don't surf, but I've seen it on TV, right? When you see the surfer on that perfect wave that's just like circling him, this is what this represents. So if I was on a wave and I'm on the longboard, the way this works is I'd have to be, you know what, let me check the rule book because I always get confused on this part of the game. Hold on, so a barrel. Okay, so when you're on the longboard, the printed value of the card you play must match the number on the barrel card. That's how it works. So if I played a 2 as I'm riding the wave, when I flip this over, this must be a 2 in order for me to stay on the wave. Otherwise, I wipe out. But again, it doesn't matter right now. So we just flip it, and ooh, it's a 1. Big deal. Doesn't do anything. Okay. Sorry if I'm explaining too much. I'm trying to explain the game as we move along here. I hope I'm not talking too much. Usually Redford does all the talking. All right, so we're going to move this down. But I got to say, it is kind of relaxing to just sit here and talk to you guys without having a little furry red guy questioning everything I say. I miss the guy. What am I talking about? All right, so now what I want to do is I want to catch this wave. Looking at the wave card coming up, it's a 2 to 3 moving forward. So, I don't have any stoke tokens. Otherwise, I would stay right where I am, but I can't do that. Now, if I really wanted to push my luck, I would play this 1, which would move me up 1. And then I'd be hoping that this was a 2 and not a 3, and I could end up at the edge. But I'm not feeling so adventurous just yet. So I'm going to catch this wave, and I'm going to catch it with a 1 pushing me down. Okay, so I'm just going to draw a card so I don't forget to. So I'm going to catch it. There we go. And I'm going to move down 1. And let's see what the wave card is. It's a 3. Boy, am I glad I didn't push my luck too hard. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. I'm right there. And then this is going to go in my scoring pile. That's great. My card values are still low, so that's good too. All right, so now let's move the wave and let's ride this baby. All right, that's a 2. Okie dokes. So next one coming up is 2 to 3 going down. And I don't have anything, unfortunately, that pushes me down. So I'm just going to play this one. It's going to push me up once on my board. Draw a card. Okay. And now let's draw the wave card. And that's going to push me twice down on my board. Okay, great. Kind of low scores, but at least I'm still on the wave. All right. Yeah, once you get the flow of the game, I mean, it moves nice and quick, as you can see. So I like that. I like that it moves pretty quickly. You just have to, think about what you're going to do here. Okay, so here is where the barrel card becomes important because I'm like right, in the middle of my ride. As I said before, whatever card I play now has to match the number that's on the other side of this card. If it matches, I get one of these barrel tokens, which gives you 5 extra points. If it doesn't match, then I wipe out. And I'm probably going to wipe out, so I'll explain what that does as soon as I do. Boy, I don't have a lot of faith in myself. Okay, so, and now whatever number's on the other side of this does not move you on the board. So this might be a good time to just go ahead and play this 2 so that it moves me up 2. And now, whether I am successful, hold on, so I got a 4, I need to discard that, sorry. So whether I'm successful or not, if I'm able to ride this wave out, I'll get a hang 10 token and a barrel token. And if I'm not, I'm going to wipe out anyway. So here's hoping that there's a 2 underneath this. If I had a drum roll, this is where I'd play it. Here we go. It's a 1. Oh man, that hurts. Okay, so I've wiped out. When you wipe out, this is what happens. I'm wiping out just for you guys, just for the purposes of the playthrough here. Jeez. All right, so you're going to put your surfer here on this section of the board, which is the wash. And now what happens is you're going to take the highest scoring card that you have on your score side, and that's going to be your score. Just one card. In this case, they're both 1s, so it doesn't matter. All right, so that's what happens when you wipe out. You lose everything. Imagine if I had wiped out down here and I had 4 or 5 cards, I'd have to just choose one of them, the highest scoring one, and that would be my score. So unfortunately for this run, my score is a 0-0. Now, I guess as a consolation, when you wipe out, you do get a stoke token, so I have that at least. Now, the only thing I can do on my next turn will be to take the recover action, and I'll show you what that does. But for now, let's go ahead and move this wave as they pass me along, as I've just miserably wiped out, and that is a 6. Okay, so now for my next action, I have to do a recover action, which all that does is it brings my surfer back to shore, and I can discard any amount of cards I want in order to do that. So you know what? I think since I want to try my short board, I'm going to go ahead and discard these two. I'll put it on this side because this is where the recover, excuse me, this is where the recover action is. So I draw 2 more cards. It's a 4. I'm still on my long board, so I have to discard it. Okay, I don't really like that 3 too much, but what can you do? Okay, so now we discard this. Again, I have to draw a wave card because you have to. And then I move this down, roll the die. All right, so now I'm back to shore. I reset my surfer there. And yeah, okay, so let's switch boards. This long board made me wipe out. I don't like it too much. So now I'm on my short board. Now, let's see what we're going to do on this run. I think I'm going to buy a Stoke card just to, show you guys how that works. So I'm just going to spend this Stoke token and take this card. And it says energy drink. Discard this card to immediately gain 3 Stoke tokens. Awesome. Now I can't use it on this turn. I have to use it on my next turn, but this is nice and handy because it'll give me 3 Stoke tokens immediately, which I will need to balance out on this short board. So now I'm on my short board. I flip over my board here and I put it in the middle. As you can see, this is going to give me lots of opportunities to wipe out. So we'll see where this goes. All right. So looking at this, at what I've got out here. Okay, so I'm going to play this 3, draw 1, to paddle out this far. And I'm just going to end it there. Draw the wave card. Again, it doesn't matter. Move the wave down. That's a 1. That's not great. Okay, discard this. Now I have a decision to make here. Do I want to maybe catch this? Go up here in order to catch this 4 when it comes down as a perfect wave. I could go up here and try to wait it out to catch a 6, but man, writing this down on the short board is going to be tricky. So I think I'm going to play it safe, and I'm going to play this 1 to paddle out here. Draw another card. Okay, I'm getting low numbers, which is really what I want. It's a double-edged sword because the low numbers do keep you on the board, but it's also what you're going to score. So you really want to go as high as you can. That's where the other, part of the pressure luck mechanic comes in. So it's kind of cool. All right, so let's draw a wave card. Doesn't matter what the value is. We move this down. 6. That makes my choice a little more difficult because now, do I catch this perfect wave or do I move up 1 and catch this 6? Even though it's not perfect, it won't give me the bonus. What do I do? I just realized I think I caught a perfect wave on my last run and I didn't get one of these tokens. Not that it would have made much of a difference, but all right, so let's catch it now and I'll add the token and that way you guys can see how it works. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and, all right, so the wave coming up is going to push me forward 2 to 3 times. So I think what I want to do is, okay, this I have to discard. What I want to do is catch it with this 1. So I can go here. This moves me down 1. And that is a perfect wave. So what I didn't do last time, I'll do this time. I get the perfect token, which at the end of the run will give me 1 extra point per card. So that's a huge bonus. Again, I should have gotten it on my last run. It didn't matter because I wiped out anyway. Although it would have gotten me to 2 points, but whatever, big deal. Okay, mistake made. Okay, so now I reveal the wave, Here we go. Hopefully it's a 3. It's a 2. So that takes me there. I wanted a 3 because then I'd be at the edge and I'd get the hang 10 token. All right, so let's move these down. I'm riding the wave. The neat thing about this game is it actually feels like you're riding the wave. You feel the pressure of keeping the balance on your board. Okay, so now, 0 to 1, up or down. So I'm going to play this 2. I'll play that 2. And it's going to move me down 2. And let's see what this does. Hopefully it's a 1 down. It's a 0, man. Okay, so that keeps me there. Okay, cool. Now we're going to keep pushing these waves down. 6. Okay, so next wave will be 2 to 3 down. So I'm going to play that one, which will push me twice up. Draw a card. Okay, so I drew a 4. Because I'm on the short board, I can play 4s, so I don't discard this. 4s will help me ride around those barrel waves if I want to. So if I don't want to take the risk, I can play this. Something that I can't do on the long board. Okay, so let's see what this does. It's a 2. Just off the edge. Man. Oh, look what's coming up. Oh, this is going to be interesting. This is going to be interesting because I am 1 space from the shore. Wow. Cue dramatic music. 1 space from the shore. Now, when I'm on the short board, the number revealed here must not match the card I play in order for me to remain on the board. If it does match, then I wipe out. So it's the opposite of the long board. All right, so I'm just going to do the same thing. I'm going, man, should I avoid it? Because this is going to hurt. Should I avoid it? Nah, I'm going to go for it. All right, so I'm going to move 1 down. Again, if this is not a 1, I will have successfully ridden this barrel, which gives me a bonus 5 points and a hang 10 because I end up on the edge of the board. So, here we go. It's a 1. Oh my goodness, I don't believe it. I wiped out again. I wiped out again. On the edge. That hurts. That hurts. Oh my gosh. Okay. So I have to just pick the highest card here on this side, which will be a 2, unfortunately. So the score, this is terrible. Get 2 points. I scored a 0.5. If this, now I don't know if this counts, 1 point per card. Because normally you count, let me see. Normally you count the tokens that are on the card you choose to keep. Let me see. You'll score the highest point card, including any tokens on that card. Yeah. So unfortunately, this is not on the highest scoring card. So I only score a 2. Bummer. All right. Well, what can you do? At least you're seeing how the push your luck mechanic works, right? Because I risked it and I shouldn't have. Because now I am stuck there on the wash, and the only thing I can do is recover. So I'll go ahead and just discard this 4 in order. Oh, I didn't. Sorry. We discard this. I didn't move the wave. So let me do that now. Okay. And now I will recover. So I will discard that, draw a new card, And we reveal this wave card. Man, this game is really stinking. Okay, so I bring this back to shore. I will do this again. Now I have to decide, do I want to stay on my short board or do I want to go for the long board? Now, I had scored, I do have the 6.0 here. So on my long board. So I think I want to stay on my short board. I might regret this. The game is going to end pretty soon. In fact, this might be the last run that I can do. So let's see where this goes. All right, so let's see what I want to do here then. I've had 2 terrible runs, so let's see if I can make my very last one do something. All right, so I wiped out, which means I do get a token here, so I don't forget. You know what? I think I'm going to go ahead and use my ability here, discard this card, to gain 3 Stoke tokens. And I'm going to use one to buy another card. And this one says, call it. When a new wave is made, discard this card and choose any number for the die result. Okay, so this is going to help me get a perfect wave, which is great because I think I'm going to need it. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and paddle out. So I'm going to put my surf guy here on the board, lying down, which is the way it should go. And then I'm going to paddle out 3. And let's see how many. Yeah, okay. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to go ahead and paddle out 3. I looked here because I want to see how many turns I have left. See if I can do one big giant run at the end. Hopefully that will work. I'm going to draw a card. Okay, this is good. This is good. I might need this to do my big run. So, okay, so that's going to be it for my turn. Now let's look at the wave. Again, it doesn't matter because I'm not on the wave. I'm going to go like this. And that's a 5. Okay. So now what I want to try to do is get all the way up here so I can catch that wave. And unfortunately, I only have, this is my largest card, so I'm going to use a Stoke token so I can go 1, 2, 3. Then I'm going to grab one. I could have used that 3 now. Okay, and then the wave is that. So now I'm going to move this over, and then I'm going to roll this, and wouldn't you know it, it's a 6. So this card, I don't even have to use it. A little bit of a waste, but what can you do? All right, so now for this turn, I am going to catch this wave. It's just a matter of what am I going to play? Okay, so the wave coming up is 2 to 3 forward. Okay, so I have a 1 here, which I'm going to use to catch this wave. It moves this marker back, and I'm going to go ahead and catch it. Gives me a Stoke token, which is fantastic because I'm going to need it. Let me draw this card before I forget. So now let's see what the wave is. It's a 3 up. 1, 2, 3. Great. That means I get my first hang 10 token. Oh, and before I forget, I also get a perfect token. I'll flip these over like this. This is a great start already. All right. So now let's try to ride this wave all the way down to at least make up for those 2 terrible runs I had earlier. Let me fix my waves here a little bit. All right, here we go. That's not going to matter much anymore because this is going to be my last run. Let's see, wave coming up is 2 to 3, moving me back. So there's a good chance to do this again. Let's see. Hopefully there's no more barrel cards in here and I can just have smooth sailing. So I'm going to go 1 down because of this. Let's see the wave, 2 down. Okay, so still good. I wish it would have been, I could have gotten another hang 10, but oh well, beggars can't be choosers. All right, so this is going to go there. And now 0 to 1, forwards or backwards. Huh. Okay, so I'm going to play this and a Stoke token so that I don't have to move. I can make that 1 into a 0. Okay. Make that 1 into a 0. Let's see. Yes. This is so far my best run. I get another hang 10 token, and the points are piling up. If I see a barrel card come out, I'm going to freak. All right, so we move this here. Oops. Roll that. Okay, so the next one is going to be 2 to 3 forwards. So again, I don't want to go here because if it's a 3, I'm gonna wipe out. So I'm gonna play a 1. And let's see. It's a 2. Okay, so it was a good run so far. All right, so I've got, oh, am I even gonna make it to shore? Yeah, I think so. Okay, so this gets pushed down. There it is. Okay. Next wave will be a 2 to 3 up, so I got to move down. So I'm going to play this one, which is going to move me 2 down. And let's see what this says. It's 3 up. That's great. I get another hang 10 token. Great, 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 great. Okay. And then this moves down. And that's the last wave card. So this is going to be my last turn, which is fantastic timing because I'm going to make it to shore and I'm not going to wipe out finally. Okay. So then let's see here. This one's going to be 2 to 3 down. So what I'm going to do, this is going to be interesting. So I have no choice. I have to play this 3 to move me back. I can't play any of these because that would wipe me out. So I'm going to have to play that 3 with these 2 Stoke tokens, which is actually great because Stoke tokens, they don't count for anything at the end, so I might as well use them. What this is going to do is going to make me move down 1 instead of 3. I don't have to draw another card because this is the last wave. So here we go. Let's see. And I move down 2. Okay. And so now this goes here. So this was a pretty good run. I wish my other runs would have been like this. Okay, so I'm not even going to roll this die because I made it to shore. Well, I might as well just roll it. There we go. Okay, so I made it to shore. Great. All right, so let's score. So again, we score all the cards, all the tokens, and then a 2-point bonus for making it back here. So that means I scored 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 10, 11, 13, 14, 16, 18, and then 1 point per card. That's the bonus you get for the perfect wave. So 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24 points. And 24 points, you see the difference? This is the 24-point box here, and that gives me a 9.0. So that's the kind of run I was looking for the entire game. That's it. That's how the game ends. Now I add up my scores, which unfortunately these are going to drag me down. So I scored 9 plus 6, that's 15, 15 and a half. 15 and a half out of a possible 40 is a horrible score. But hey, I had fun. I had fun. This is a great game. Again, it really captures the theme really well. The push your luck mechanic is awesome, trying to keep your balance on the board, trying to decide whether to use your long board, your short board. Again, if these barrel cards come out, it's it's a huge decision to make. Unfortunately, I should have bailed out And unfortunately, I stayed on the wave, and I paid the price. I wiped out twice. That's why I got such a low score. So yeah, that's Tavarua. Hopefully, this shows you a little bit of how the game plays, and I highly recommend it. It's a really fun game, and I might do another playthrough with it. Who knows? Maybe with the AI once I get a little more comfortable with it. But for now, hopefully you enjoyed this. Let me know if you'd like me to do more playthroughs like this. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Leave a comment, leave a like, follow us on Instagram at BoredDad, also on TikTok, The Bored Dad. And yeah, so again, I hope you enjoyed this, this playthrough, and we'll see you in the next one.